وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى فَادْعُوهُ بِهَا.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Al-Malik. This name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is directly translates to the King. He subhanahu wa ta'ala is the King. He is the one who is the complete possessor, and to His discretion all of the dominion is subject. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's names and attributes are divided into two rough categories. They are Asma' wa Sifat al-Jalal wa Asma' wa Sifat al-Jamal. They are the names and attributes of Allah which are of majesty, and the names and attributes of Allah which are of kindness, which are of beauty and generosity and goodness. Those things which are of al-Jalal, those things which are very specific to Allah, oftentimes these names and attributes, they are considered to be a perfection with Allah, and they are considered to be an imperfection if they are found in the human being. Like what? Like greatness, in the sense of an individual being mutakabbir, a person who is very great and very prideful. This is something which is a deficiency in the human being. Yet it is something which is part of the perfection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and part of His grandeur. And so, the name of Allah, Al-Malik, this is one of the first names that we are introduced to in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes Himself as the King, and He says, Maliki Yawmiddin, in one recitation in Surah Al-Fatiha. He describes Himself as the King of the Day of Recompense, meaning that He subhanahu wa ta'ala is the sole possessor and disposer of affairs, and to everything on that day, everything will be subject to His discretion on the day of judgment, on the day of resurrection, the day of recompense with fairness and precision. And so He subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Malik. He is the King, and it is prohibited for anyone to be named the King. And it is prohibited in Islam for an individual to take for himself such a title as the King of Kings, as Pharaoh would describe himself with, the King of Kings. Rather, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the King of Kings. He is the Judge of Judges, and no one will compete with Him in that attribute except that Allah will break him. Wallahu a'lam.